Hello, in today's video, I'm going to show you how I memorize new words and grammar. Before I show you how, I'm going to ask you a question. It's very important. How many words do you think a native speaker needs in order to communicate in English every day? Is it 10,000 words, 50,000 words, 100,000 words, or is it just 2,000 words? Here you go. You only need 2,000 words in English in order to communicate with native speakers for basic conversation. It's research done by, I believe it's BBC, since they do a lot of English education. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, you definitely don't need to remember vocabulary the traditional way. And you know what I'm talking about? The method that we all used at school, right? APPLE, apple, 苹果, MOON, moon, 月亮, right? It's definitely not gonna, at least it didn't work for me. And if you are still memorizing words this way, it's just so painful and boring. And I doubt anyone could keep on learning English this way. So right now I'm just gonna use my laptop to show you how I remember how I learn new vocabulary and grammar. So the method that I use is actually very simple. I talked about this in my video before. If you want to learn English, you always read and listen to the English, the real English that native speakers would use. So in this case, I do marketing, so I would always look at the English copy written by native speakers. For example, if you go to apple.com, you can get and switch the language into English. You can get all of the English copy written by native speakers for native speakers. I always believe that marketing copy is very useful because when you write the marketing copy, you always use the concise language and the language that everyone can understand. That's the point. If you want to learn a language, you want to use the language that everyone is using, instead of like professional terms that only a few would know. Here's a good example. Before we do the reading, we need to understand that there are three parts in an English sentence: a subject, a verb, and an object. All right, and the subject usually comes before the verb. The verb usually comes before the object. All right, now let's take a look at this sentence. Great powers come with great privacy. Now let's say you just start learning English and you have no idea what great is. You don't know this word. Then what do? You need to download an app called 有道词典, 有道 dictionary, or any dictionary you use. It's fine. You look it up in the dictionary, you get the Chinese meaning of it, or if you can read better, you can even look at the English explanation of the word. It helped me a lot. And what's important is you also need to figure out whether this word is a verb or a noun or an adverb. You need to know how to use this word in a sentence. You also need to know what kind of role it plays in the sentence that you're reading. All right. In this case, great is an adjective. All right. So what does adjective do? Adjective is used to modify a noun. So that tells you the powers is a noun in this sentence. So great powers is, I call it the noun section. All right. And come is a verb because the verb usually comes after the noun. Come with, and now it's very clear that great privacy, I call it the object section. Okay. Since object is usually a noun also. All right. So now you see what I'm trying to say. If you encounter any word that you don't know, you look it up in the dictionary, you check for the meaning, you search for the meaning, you you keep that in mind. You also need to know how to use it. And then you let it go. You don't have to write it in your notebook. You don't have to keep looking at it every day in the morning. If this word is a word that everyone is using, the chances are you're going to meet it soon. You're probably going to meet it again a few days later, or even like tomorrow. So the next time you encounter this word, you probably remember it or not. If you don't, that's totally fine. It's totally normal. Then what do? You look it up again. You find it in the dictionary, and then you realize that, oh, you searched for this word before. Now, the beauty of it is that when you search for a word, you have better memory. You have stronger memory with it. You also have the context of the word, so you know how to use the word. That's the method that I use when memorizing vocabulary and grammar. It helps me a lot. And you know what? When reading real material, you also get information from the material that you are reading or listening to. That's the method that I use. Please let me know in the comment section if you find it useful or not.